Hey everybody, as you just saw in the introduction there, that was a homemade TURR picker. Since I posted the video on YouTube and Facebook, I've had a lot of requests showing how to make it and what's required. So we're going to do a little video here now on how to actually make a homemade duck picker. The materials you're going to need are an electric motor. This one here came out of an old clothes dryer. It actually had to be modified a little bit. I'll show you why in just a minute. But you will need a motor. You can pick these up at Princess Auto or Harbor Freight, whichever store is in your area. You will need, I've got a piece of 2x6 here and a few pieces of scrap plywood that I had kicking around. And one of the most important things is you'll need some type of a rubber. These are actually floor mats that clip together like kids would use in their playroom. These are actually not a bad consistency. They work pretty good. The black one here is a little bit stronger, so either one of these would work. Or you can pick up different things like a piece of an old rubber belt. That's actually what these pieces here are. I've already got them glued together. These are a piece of an old conveyor belt, I think. You just got to make sure that it's something that the dye is not going to come off onto your birds. And you can also buy these at some local poultry processing plants or stores. There is a spot here in St. John's that actually sells these little rubber pads, but I'll explain these to you in just a minute. And the last thing you'll need is a plastic bucket, and it's important that the plastic bucket has a tight fitting lid. So that's what you're going to need for supplies, and as well some wood screws. For tools, I have a screwdriver, a drill, and a jigsaw. So what I'm going to do now is, before I get into explaining how the things are going to fit together, I'm going to cut out the pieces of wood, the sizes that I need, roughly, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the assembly. So stay tuned while I cut them out. Here, I already had marked. So what I just finished cutting is I cut a base to put the picker on, and I just cut a couple of blocks. The size doesn't have to be anything specific for these. The reason for the base is so that I can move around the picker, and when I'm using it, I'll just use some clamps to keep it in place so it doesn't move, or you can screw it to your workbench, whatever works. And these here are to give it a little bit of height so that when you put your motor on, your bucket will clear. When your bucket goes on, you need the height for your bucket. I have to cut this piece of plywood now so that I have something to fasten the lid to. The reason for the bucket is to catch the feathers once you have it hooked up to your vacuum cleaner, shop vac. And I use a lid so that I can take the bucket off if I want to clean it or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole. It doesn't have to be exact, it just has to be bigger than this shaft. So I'm going to drill a hole in that lid now. So we got the bucket with the hole in it. This will go on over here. And what this will do is this will give me something to fix the bucket to. So that's the way that's going to work. And the reason I have this piece of plywood is just for stability, because there's nothing to fix the lid to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this piece of plywood here, as you'll see in a minute, and then the lid of the bucket will screw onto this. So just bear with me while I cut this out. So all I did here was I just marked out the ring of the bucket. And I'm going to cut the hole, I'm going to cut the plywood just a little bit bigger, just so I have something to support it on. And I'm actually going to leave a piece on the bottom to screw onto here. So you'll see now in a second. What I've done here now is I've made the backstop for the plastic bucket lid. So I've got to cut this off here so that the center of the motor shaft lines up with the center of this hole. So right here is the height that I want. So I'm just going to take my pencil and I just made a mark on the back. I'll cut that off. Starting to come together here. So this will give the backstop for the bucket some support. And then the lid of the bucket is going to screw right onto that board right here. And again, the measurements are not particularly important here, as long as the shaft from your motor doesn't touch the lid or the board. Before I assemble this much, and I'll show you how the actual picking rubber goes on, I want to show you the shaft on this motor. So what happens here is these are the picking rubbers. So the sizes that we use here on this are 4.5, say 5 inches. So it's a 5-inch triangle on each side. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. You could make that bigger if you had a bigger motor, but this seems to work fine for the size birds we're doing. So when you're getting your motor, it's important that the shaft right here has to be long enough for this rubber to go on. So what we did on this shaft here was we actually welded a 5/8 bolt onto it because the original shaft wasn't long enough. If you're lucky enough to find this a certain kind of motor, like if it's a motor with a pulley on it, if this shaft is long enough, you won't need to do that. And the reason for that is that when we insert this over it, we can just screw this on, but right here it would have been too close to the motor and you wouldn't have had room for your birds to fit. So you'll see that when I assemble it now in a minute. So what I'll do is I'll move the motor back far enough so that this board doesn't touch it, and I will secure this right onto here. So I've got that lined up now. I'm just going to screw it all together. Nice and solid. So right here I'm going to secure the motor on, and I'm going to make sure that it's back just far enough so that it doesn't touch this board and give me any vibrations. Looks pretty good. So now we've got the motor fastened on, we got our board on. So now we are going to fasten our bucket lid onto here. Nice and secure. And yes, those screws are coming out through the back right here. So I'll just cut those off, or you could use a nut and bolt there, would probably be better. But just for the purposes of the video, I'm trying to make this quick. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install this rubber. And like I said, you can pretty much use whatever kind of rubber you want, as long as you don't get residue left on the birds. So on this one here, just to move this out to the center of the spline, what I've done is I've got a whole bunch of little washers here, and I'm just going to put these on over, and all that's doing is I'm just using these as spacers to move this out a little bit more here. So put on the washers, and then you need a big washer to mount up against your rubber, and it's important to make these holes small. And because it's rubber, you should be able to force it on over, but it does take a little bit of work here. So now I'm just going to tighten this up until this all is snug together. And you don't need to force that too crazy tight. It's just enough so that these don't spin. If they spin when you're cleaning, you'll know. So this is the basic setup before we put the bucket on, and I'll show you that in just a minute, but I'm going to plug this in now and just show you how it spins. That's why I have the base here, so it doesn't vibrate. So if I was using this, I clamp it down to the bench, and you have your picker right there. So once we have this done, we need to make the feather collector. So I just got a weight bucket. This size here is 2.5 gallon or 6 kilogram bucket. Whatever came in this was 6 kilograms. So all I'm going to do here with this is this bucket here locks on. I'm going to cut a hole here, and that'll be where we actually put the bird in to pluck it. And I'm going to put a little adapter on here so I can put a shop vac on the end here, and that'll gather the feathers. So when I get those holes cut, I'll come back and show you. So what I just did then was I used a hole saw. I cut a hole in the bottom of the bucket, and this will give me the attachment for my vacuum. So this is my vacuum hose here. If you go to the hardware store, you can actually get like an ABS connector. Just go to the general use plumbing section and you should be able to get an adapter that'll fit onto this. But for demonstration purposes of the video, I'm just going to use one of the old shop vac attachments I have here. And I actually have a couple of these, so what I'll probably do is I'll just cut this off right here. And I'll just put it on the inside of the bucket. I'll push it out through the hole there that I've got that's nice and snug. And then when we're cleaning the birds, that'll give me the attachment for the vacuum to suck out the feathers. So I'm just going to cut a hole here that we can place the bird into. And at the end of the video, I'll include a little clip of us actually using TURR picker, the same as this that we used earlier to fall. So I've got it all hooked up here. And as you can see, I've got my shop vac hose here. The shop vac is there on the floor. I'll show you that in a minute. And I readjusted the bucket a little bit because you want the paddles right here, the tips of them, just out past the bucket. And that way when you're pushing your duck onto here, it just works a little bit better. You haven't got to go inside the bucket. And you've still got lots of suction here in this hole to suck the feathers in, and they'll be collected in your shop vac. So I'll plug everything in now. I don't have anything, I don't have a duck here now, but I'll plug everything in and I'll just show you. I've got it secured to the bench, and I've got a little bit of sawdust here in my hand, and you'll see how that actually sucks it in. It's actually, you can see, there's leftover feathers on here, and it's actually sucking those in. Sucks it all into the vacuum, and away to go. Well folks, that's a quick video on how you put together a homemade bird picker. I will mention one other thing, that right now I've just had this cord plugged into the wall, but it's actually really beneficial if you put a junction box right here with a switch, and that way you want to turn it off, you don't have to unplug it all the time. So I'll just actually splice this cord into a power switch and mount that right here on the back. I hope you enjoyed this, and make sure you stay tuned to Angling and Arrows. We've got season 2025 coming up starting on the 2nd of April, I believe. 6 all new videos, some outdoor hunting and fishing. So make sure you check that out as well. Thanks for watching.